It's Oceanic Cup. I'm Xalorith, and tonight I'm joined by Dota Yoshi. How are you, Dota Yoshi?
I am doing quite content right now. I'm kind of hungry. But enough of that.
Dire team ban. Radiant team.
We do have Noxious Gaming versus BSP here in this final game. We'll just hop right into the drafting phase here. We do see that Darkseer, OD, the Wisp, or the IO, and the Bat Rider get banned out. Lifestealer, Alchemist, Weaver. Very quick picks and bans here so far. And there's the Visage as well.
Dire team ban.
And I really want to see what other new heroes that got added into the Captain's mode be picked up. I want to see a Centaur Assassin. I want to see a Troll Ward. There's some fantastic heroes which bring a unique playstyle to the game. But the way the game's currently lining up, I don't think we will. We see the Visage and the Lifesteal. We got a very aggressive trialing here in the Visage and Lifesteal. He's fantastic throughout the entire game. He can pull out a lot of damage when he's required. And the Alchemist Weaver. Weaver will be played in that off lane. He shouldn't die of any means. And he's got a lot of damage output once he starts to pick up a few items. And Alchemist, you also look to see him 20 to 25 minutes is when he will hit his prime. Have one, maybe two big items up on him. And start looking to see him killing and finding blood anywhere there is to be found.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, BSP, I quite like this. It looks like currently they're going to put that Weaver in the off lane and the Alchemist with their tri lane. That's sort of what I believe they're going for. Very quick Gyrocopter pick up there by Noxious Gaming. So it looks like they will have their Lifestealer in that solo lane position. We do see that Bane. Bane's a great hero, particularly to counter this Lifestealer, as you know you do have the Fiends go, but also you have Enfeeble, which helps counter that Gyrocopter. Does massive damage in team fights with his flat cannon.
And
So nice pickups from both sides.
I feel as if this is the fastest picking game I've seen in Captain's mode before. Both sides know exactly how they want to play and know what to ban out and what to go against BSP. They've probably been watching a few of each other's matches and they know how each team likes to play. And they're just going for these standard builds, standard counters like the Bane onto that Lifesteal as you mentioned before. But the Gyrocopter and Visage, this is going to be a very powerful tri-lane, and look to see them pick up a stunning support following that up. Either see, I would say, Leshrac, Lena, or what's his name? The dragon, twin-headed dragon. I can't think of his name right now.
Chikira.
That's the one. Oh, that was a bad blank. But look to see them pick up one of the stunning heroes. Either one of those three heroes will go very well with Visage and Gyrocopter or Lifesteal if they're going to throw Lifesteal. They have either hero that they can throw up in that tri-lane, and they're all aggressive and can do a large amount of damage in a very short time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think I'd probably personally like a very reliable stun, just because I mean Visage does have the slow. You do have the homing missile from the Gyrocopter, but you know the homing missile takes ages to actually roll in. The Visage slow is probably not quite enough. We did actually see a Sand King pick up there from BSB. Nice choice. But yeah, I'd quite like to see something more like reliable here from Noxious as their last support. We do see that Rubik's banned out, so that's not an option, but we'll see exactly what they choose. But I quite like this Sand King choice here from BSB. It also gives them much more teamfight potential, much more AoE damage. Before that Sand King, their lineup looked very heavy into the single target. Oh, and there's a Crystal Maiden. I like that Crystal Maiden choice.
Crystal Maiden, I personally feel is a little bit questionable against this kind of lineup. You have Alchemist, Sand King, Bane. If Alchemist or Sand King throws out a stun, that Crystal Maiden's gonna die almost instantly afterwards. She's got a very low health pool. We'll follow that up in a little bit. We see a puck being picked up by BSP and an instant pick of Timbersaw. I love Timbersaws. They are one of the most fun heroes to watch zip around the map, and they do a large substantial amount of damage, especially if you're near trees. It's all true damage, and he'll hold you in place. He's got great team fight potential, and he's just one tanky hero.
Yeah, I actually really love this choice of Timbersaw. It is being played by Toons, so it looks like it's going to be a mid Timbersaw. Sort of to be expected here with the lineup that Noxious have going on for them. Sometimes you see Timbersaw played in that offlane position, but yeah, it is going to be a mid Timbersaw. I'm really looking forward to some zipping around here. That lovely, the lovely chain here from Timbersaw. Such a fun hero to play and a fun hero to watch.
And Noxious Gaming, their lineup, they're going for this aggressive trial, and they're going head to head with this Alchemist. You have Gyrocopter, Visage, Crystal Maiden. They're going to want to try and shut down this Alchemist and not let him get any farm. Your Lifestealer should be in that safe lane by himself up against a Weaver, and that's favourable for that Lifestealer. He's got a lot of damage output. He should be fairly tanky against the Weaver. Weaver will be able to consistently chip that Lifestealer down and eventually make that Lifestealer have to back or play a little bit careful. But Noxious Gaming, look to see them go aggressive tri-lane and put a lot of pressure onto BSP's Alchemist.
Definitely agree. And let's introduce the teams and players here. So on the side of BSP, we do have their captain Kentai playing on the Sand King. We have Kuso playing on that Weaver. The stand-in SOS is on the puck. Karot is on the Alchemist, and Virus will be on the Bane.
And over on the side of Noxious Gaming, we do have the captain of Merps. He will be playing on the Visage. His fellow support Jan will be on that Crystal Maiden. Their mid player turns will be on that Timbersaw. You've got the Gyrocopter being played by PPX. And finally, the hero that hasn't quite loaded in, Phenai, will be played on... What was that other hero selected? Sorry. Lifesteal, that's the one.
Lifesteal. So we do have a disconnect here from SOS. Hopefully he should be back in the game very, very soon.
It's taken a little bit of time, but how do you feel this early to mid game's going to pan out? Who do you think will have the significant advantage, and who do you think should be putting the pressure on to try and take this into the mid to late game?
You know, I feel like the early advantage is probably slightly in Noxious Gaming's favor. They have that Visage who is so strong in any tri-lane, can get kills very, very quickly. Yeah, pick off heroes here and there, get those early kills going, rolling for... Most likely you'll have your Gyrocopter in that tri-lane, I feel. So that Gyrocopter getting the levels, getting a little bit extra gold. But yeah, you know, that Gyrocopter, of course, I suspect he'll be getting that rocket barrage very quickly, as well as, you know, Crystal Maidens. Well, I'm assuming they'll be picking up the Frostbite just for the reliable stun. But yeah, that's a lot of damage very quickly. I feel like they've got a little bit stronger tri-lane. However, BSB, I feel, have the stronger mid lane. Timbersaw is a great hero once he gets level 6, once he starts rolling. But the problem is, he does take quite a lot of damage from any magical source, which Puck deals a ton of. And you know, once Puck gets that bubble, can really start spamming the Timbersaw, really start pushing him back. Timbersaw is great if he takes right clicks, but against magic damage, he doesn't really have much. So I feel like the tri-lane will go in Noxious's favor, but the mid lane will certainly be in BSB's in my opinion. And then the off lane, probably slightly in BSB's favor. I suspect it'll be the Weaver there. Weaver up against Lifestealer. Weaver should probably be pull slightly ahead there, can do just a little bit more harassment, and Shikuchi, of course, keeping it safe.
It looks like BSB anticipate the aggressive tri-lane coming out by Noxious, and they're going to throw their tri-lane up to the top against that Lifestealer. So they're going to try and dodge a bullet and not go aggressive against aggressive. They're going to try and force Noxious to rotate their heroes around to try and shut down his Alchemist. And speaking of which, they're throwing out a smoke and they're going up top. And we have a stun being channeled by Alchemist already. So a mispress there. So he's just going to stun himself up. That's a little bit of a issue. He throws a little bit of health and mana down the drain. They're going to continue rotating up top, hopefully to find out anyone in that jungle. But that Phenai, he'll be sitting up next to the tower and they're not going to be able to find anything there.
Yeah, that's actually, this is very, very, very aggressive here from BSB. They really want to kill as soon as possible. You see Noxious as well, just sticking together as free, but Phenai has to be careful. Oh, there's another charge here from Alchemist, but I think it's going to hit. Yeah, no, it's going to get caught out.
Unfortunately Virtus, he walked close. He didn't get his Nightmare off. He wasn't fully paying attention by the looks of it. His Nightmare was more than well in range. He could have pulled that off and they could have tripled stunned their way to victory. But not going to be the case, and Phenai's just going to walk on out of there. And you already see the rotation by Noxious. They're rotating back up top and they want to go against this tri-lane. And once again though, BSP, yeah, they'll be sitting here. It almost looked like they were going to rotate out, so Noxious is making the wise choice, putting their tri-lane against BSP's tri-lane.
Yeah, that's extremely smart there from Noxious. Just they want this tri-lane versus tri-lane because they know that they should have an advantage here. Hold that 4 looks like move 6
We see
might
the
be caught out
Nightmare.
here.
Stun can't find out. There goes the Sand King. Burst. Do they have enough damage to put out the mercs? We see a lot of damage coming up by the Gyrocopter. He doesn't know where he wants to go to throw out that damage. And now Kentai. He's in a lot of trouble. He doesn't have enough mana to stun out. He needs 5 more mana. Can they get those final few auto attacks off? He's got a Burst Strike. No, he doesn't. And he doesn't have the mana. So we will see the first kill going to Merps on that Visage.
Yeah, that wasn't even with soul assumption. He had the grave chill. But yeah, I mean it boosts the experience here for these supports of Noxious and of course the Gyrocopter, and this just is going to set them more aggressive. There we go, they just really want more kills.
And PPX pulls out the Rock Barrage, final auto attack, and kills off the Alchemist. And now Bane, he's TPing out. Do they have enough damage? They don't have any stuns. And he does get on there. So at least they keep one of their heroes alive, but 2 kills going in favor of Noxious. This is gonna hurt BSP a lot, and they might already try and start rotating their heroes out, which they already have. Alchemist goes down bottom, and now he's in a lane of himself again, up against that Lifestealer.
Yeah, but this is a significant advantage here for Noxious already. They've already shut down the Alchemist a little bit by well first getting a kill, and now he has to force to change lanes, so he's lost a little bit of farm there already. And of course Noxious, they're going to start rotating their supports. They know that the Gyrocopter will now have a free lane in top, especially when this rotation of Alchemist has happened. We'll see if they're able to set up some kills. We do have the Soul Assumption now in the Visage, and there's the Visibility rune picked up. Looks like they want something in mid.
They've got a ward up top there, so they saw those 2 support heroes, but the Puck is still being in quite an aggressive position here. But they won't be able to find a kill here. Moops doesn't have enough damage, nor does the Timbersaw, as he's not near any trees. And as you said, Noxious, they're playing absolutely intelligent. They're rotating their heroes around, and they're just not going to let this Alchemist get any farm himself. And if you shut down this Alchemist early, he's not going to be able to have that snowball effect into that mid to late game. So as you see, Moops is walking through that jungle. He's just going to walk on past by Kentai, and they're going to go try and harass this Alchemist just that much more.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, looks like we got Crystal Maiden as well moving through that jungle. For a second looked like they were onto the fight, but nope, they're just going to back off. Good decision. Oh, and Moose throws down a sentry as well to block that camp.
So Noxious they're playing amazing, I should say, at the moment. They're doing everything right at the moment. They're just forcing BSP on the back foot. And now you have Sanke, he's waiting in the midst. He's waiting for someone to try and initiate this Alchemist. And BSP, they've got a team that can take these fights as well. I mean, you have a stun from the Alchemist, you have Sand King's Burrow Strike, and you have that Nightmare and that Bane. However, they don't have any AoE damage to follow it up. You've got the Crystal Maiden on the other side, you've got the Visage. Those 2 can pull out a lot of single target and AoE damage alone. And then your Lifesteal, you just can't run from a Lifesteal no matter how hard you try. So, BSP have to be quite careful here. They're going to try and get another stack off from Virtus. He's still currently level 1, and that's going to hurt the damage output on the side of BSP down in this trail lane.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what really surprises me right now is that Timbersaw is sitting on the highest last hits in the game. He's sitting on 22 compared to the Park, who's only sitting on 11 last hits. And in fact, Timbersaw's got 11 denies as well. So this Park is actually losing the mid lane so far, which I wasn't expecting, honestly. I mean, you generally see Timbersaw struggle a little bit more against the more magic heavy melee heroes.
And we got Initiation down on bottom. We have the open wounds coming out onto the Virtus on the Bane. He nightmares himself up. He does avoid the Grave Chill. Not the Grave Chill, the Soul Assumption. Nice Burrow Strike coming through by Kentai. The Bane will still fall from that Soul Assumption coming flying through by Merps. And now Kentai, he's got to start up in 4. He's 3, 2, 1. Will he find it on Merps? Does he have any follow-up by his teammates? Nah, he's not going to throw it out. He's going to conserve his mana as the rest of his side were back on the tower.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, just a 1-for-1 trade. I mean, not really in anyone's favor there. You know, Bane, Crystal Maiden, 2 supports. You know, no real big kills there. Just a bit of an even trade there. And you know, Noxious, they're looking to go back once again onto that aggressive front. However, BSP, they're hiding here. Oh, hold that 4. We got a kill in mid. Toons picking up the early kill on the Park. Very well played there by him.
A little bit surprised. You don't expect to see a Timbersaw picking up a kill not near any trees in the center of the lane. So, nice played by Turns. We do see Gyrocopter, however. He does pick up a solo kill on that Weaver underneath that tower. Weaver didn't quite have his time lapse. He's still half a level off. And PPX made sure with his level advantage to get in there, throw out that cooldown, and find a kill up on the hero. In mid lane, we have Timbersaw once again chasing down the puck. SOS is in a lot of trouble. We see a nice whirling death come out doing a lot of damage to SOS. Then we see the blade coming out. But there's not much Puck can do about it. He's taken a lot of damage in a very short amount of time. And now, Turns, he's just creep cutting and he's going to push down this tower quite fast.
Yeah, this is amazing play from Toons. I mean, I expected the Puck to be outlaning the Timbersaw. You know, as we said earlier on, I expected the tri-lane of Noxious Gaming to take the advantage, but the mid lane to definitely be in BSP's favor. However, now the Puck's only level 5, the Timbersaw's level 7, nearing level 8, and the Puck, there's not much he can do against this. Timbersaw's just cutting creeps, and he's keeping the Puck out of lane, out of farm, out of experience, and this is insane play. This is amazing.
And I definitely agree with the way Toons is leveling up his abilities. He's got 2 points in this reactive armor, so every few attacks he gets hit by the Puck, his reactive armor stacks start going up. If he takes any aggro from the creeps, they'll just pop his stacks up even higher, and that's 8 HP regen in a few seconds. They'll last for 16 seconds, and that's quite useful. That's about 120 HP your regen from those stacks alone. Speaking of SOS's build, I'm not too sure how I feel about his illusionary orbs. I would have preferred if he leveled up waning rifts and get his silence up as high as possible, because against a Timbersaw who relies heavily on spells, if you can silence him, then that will give you the chance to escape or initiate onto him. Whereas if you're leveling up this illusionary orb, that's kind of situational, and the only reason SOS has been using his orb so far in this game has been to escape.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just so surprising to see a Timbersaw outlane a Puck quite the way he has so far. And yeah, this is a massive problem, because generally I like to see the Puck get level 6 early, start working towards his Blink Dagger, but once he is level 6 he can start roaming around the map if he wants to a little bit more. He does have that ultimate of his, which just helps to lock down heroes, and particularly when you have the Sand King as well, you know, and just combo it up. And just pick off a few. But when he's level 5 and it's 6 minutes into the game, Timbersaw's out leveling him, this is quite a problem, which will expand further than just the mid lane. It'll expand into the other lanes as well.
And so how do you feel as if BSP should try and take this at the moment? Every time they try and do a rotation, Noxious instantly counter-reacts and follows along with them. How do you feel as BSP should take the next 5 to 10 minutes?
Well, they have a few options, I guess. One is trying to lock down this Timbersaw. I mean, that's a potential that they might try to go for. This Bane currently doesn't have a teleport. Does the Sand King? Nope, they can't afford it either. So unfortunately, they can't rotate into mid immediately to try to get a kill here. Yeah, Timbersaw's sitting at half health, doesn't have any magic reduction. So it could take a lot of damage if they had a teleport potential, but they don't. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but they can't certainly fight this tri-lane here. This tri-lane of Noxious is just too strong at the moment. You know, Bane's only sitting at level 2, Sand King's at level 4. He's been doing well to just get as many kills he can in the jungle and whatnot. So he's not doing too bad. Once he has his level 6, I feel like BSP should really start doing some more team fights. And also when Puck has level 6, because that just locks down the enemy, they can't move around, and you should hopefully manage to take the advantage and get some kills.
And Turns is just zoning out SOS from this lane, and his tower's just going to take a little bit of damage. There's not too much SOS can do right here, and now Turns is just going to run back into the safety of that river. It usually would be the safety of your tower, but Turns, he's safe anywhere but underneath the opposing tower at the moment. Give him 5 minutes and he'll happily be standing around underneath the enemy tower.
Yeah. Also, currently the vision of BSP is a little bit lacking there. Observer wards on anyone at the moment, and they have no sight of the river whatsoever. So if Toons decide to start roaming and set up some ganks, he certainly can, because he's free to do so. They have no idea that'll be coming.
And Noxious, they've got some nice wards. They have an aggressive ward up on top lane. If anyone decides to TP, if they try to rotate heroes out without Noxious knowing, they'll instantly know and they'll counteract straight away as they've been doing the entire game. And now they've got some vision on the river. They've got counter revelations in the camp, on the pool camp, and that stops any extra XP going the way of the supports of BSP. And now they're trying to find a kill in middle, but Timbersaw, he's already off and out of there. He's going to the secret shop to pick up his arcane boots, and that's a little bit unfortunate for the supports. They might even start rotating back down to the bottom lane just to try and make sure that Alchemist isn't going to get injured in any possible way.
Yeah, we'll see exactly that. Bane just bails out. However, we might see a kill there on SOS. Take the ton damage. Nice stun from Sand King. Oh, the ulti from Park misses.
That's
Will
a
it cost
little bit
his life?
unfortunate. And then we see the Whirling Death on actually Chakram into the Timbersaw chain, picks off that puck. Can Toons get on out of here? Kentai doesn't have enough speed to catch up to Toons. Toons is going to turn around. He might even try and find a kill onto the Sand King. Sand King's going to salve up and he's going to try and, where he thought Toons would be, cut him off. However, Toons just going to walk back underneath his tower and Sand King's going to be like, what are you doing there? And he's just going to walk on out of there.
Yeah, he has to be extremely careful as well. I mean, he has the the sandstorm, but against the to escape, I should say, and of course the burrow strike. But against the
And we
Timber,
see the open wounds down on bottom onto Kyrot. They're going to turn around, however, onto the Bane. Bane throws that Nightmare, but he's just going to auto attack it off, and there goes the Bane. Kyrot tries to throw out a stun to help out his support, but it's just not enough.
Yeah, well played there by Noxious. Just picked up so many of these early kills, and this is vital because, I mean, pretty much every lane so far is being won by Noxious. Weaver's died earlier on to the Gyrocopter 1v1, and that was being pushed back. He has to go back to base
We see a
to
little
heal up.
initiation down at bottom. The cocktail and the sands, the burrow strike comes out at the same time. Didn't need to stack up those stuns. However, Crystal Maiden turns around, puts Kentai into that the Ice Nova, or Frostbite I should say. But anyway, they're turning it back around. Nice Wailing Rift coming out by SOS. He's going to do damage. Crystal Maiden might fall. There we go. Final auto attack will kill Crystal Maiden. The lifesteal pops into a creep. He's going to get on out of there. Cooldown gets a kill onto the Alchemist. And now they're all chasing Phenai. Phenai does have his rage up and running, but now the Timbersaw's in. He's looking for blood, does a lot of damage to SOS. SOS throws out that stun. Nice burrow strike from Kentai, keeping that puck alive for a little bit longer, but we should see an auto attack from PPX trying to kill. Kentai will now fall to the Timbersaw, and now they're turning around. They're not going to find Kuno, but that's a 3-for-1 trade.
3 for 2. They also lost Crystal Maiden.
3 for 2. My mistake. But anyway, they're still attacking onto Toons. Toons throws out his saw, but we should see Kuso find the auto attack to kill him, and they will find it. And Moops, he's not going to be able to do enough damage to pull off onto Kuso. Bane doesn't have many levels. He's only got a Nightmare and Brain Sap, so they're not going to be able to do too much to Moops right there, so he's going to walk on out of there.
So well played there by BSP, actually evening it up in the end there. They managed to pick off that Timbersaw for a 3-for-3 trade, and Noxious Gaming just overstayed their welcome a little bit too long there in the jungle. Nonetheless, I mean, they're still doing very, very well so far in this game.
I think we might see Bane die on bottom lane, sorry. No, they're not going to die. Sorry about that. It looked like they were going to jump in on them. They threw out the rocket. They were being very aggressive, but they decided not to. However, they might find Kenty out in the middle of nowhere. There we go. Well, rocket barrage. Ward being placed. Kenty's going to get hit by the Soul Assumption, and Visage will pick up the kill. And in mid lane, we have Toons. Action all around the map. SOS throws out that Wailing Rift. He silences as well. Will he be able to get out of there? Timbersaw still trying to chase him. Nice phase shift to try and avoid any possible damage. He throws out the illusionary orb. Few auto attacks. Can they find it? One more auto attack. The nice stacks of reactive armors keeping him alive. We got it. Jumps back in. Does a lot of damage to Kuso. Puck is still alive, but he's not going to be able to get out of there. Nice stun coming by Kentai. Fino's in a lot of trouble. He doesn't have rage up for another 6 seconds. He's going to try and run out of here. Is there enough damage? Barashak, he's now out of range since it's only level 2. He's still got to chase him down, but the rage has popped in. He's out of there.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Wow, so much action around the map here, and that was a 1-for-1 trade. The BSP do deny that mid tower though, which is quite nice. This does give a lot more map control though for Noxious. Oh, and they get the bottom tower as well, so very well played there. Alchemist though, he's been able to pick up a little bit of farm in his top lane and do a little bit of damage. Has to be very careful. Gets jumped on. Is there going to be enough
TP net.
damage?
He gets
Oh.
out of there. That was unfortunate for him. He saw all those TPs in. It would have been nice if he instantly tried to TP away. But Lifesteal came around, locked him into position, and they had more than enough damage to pick him off.
Yeah, almost getting out. Almost, but unfortunately not quite quick enough there. And that's another kill there for Noxious that they'll be happy about. And of course defend that tower, and we'll pick up this top tier one as well.
There's 3 towers in favor of Noxious. They're 3 towers ahead of BSP, and this is going to hurt. There's a 7,500 gold lead in favor of Noxious at the moment, and a 5k experience. And this is not what you usually typically see when there's an Alchemist on the enemy team. But he just hasn't been able to get any farm on the map. Noxious have just followed him around, shut him down no matter where he's gone. And now they've got 3 towers, and that's even less room for Xalorith to try and get back into this.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Definitely, and oh, SOS now being chased. There's the familiars. Timbersaul's on his tail as well. He's gonna have a hard time getting away from here.
And
Jacob's there. He's actually very low.
Yeah, Jacob's like, oh, I want to stay around for a little bit of XC. The haste has popped, but there's a Crystal Maiden. Moves to the front spot. Can we see the orb out? He does get out. He's still being chased. The auto attack's not enough. We got Timbersaul trying to jump on in, but the haste will get the puck safely out of there. So, very lucky room for that puck.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Quite exactly the rune that he needed. Actually, yeah, a sentry, sorry, an invis rune would not have saved him there because Crystal Maiden does have this the sentry, so very lucky with the haste. However, Kentai here might be in a little bit of trouble being chased by the Timbersaul.
He lands on that chakram, but he's not going to be able to find that kill. He's been very aggressive on turns at the moment, and his aggression has mostly been paid off. There he goes, he jumps in, we got a nice barrage strike, we got a bang to follow it up. He doesn't have Fiend Script quite available to him right now. He does throw turns into that nightmare, but the rest of the team are elsewhere on the map. We have the Alchemist up top trying to farm, you have the Weaver trying to farm down on bottom, and Noxious, they might even try to barrel down this mid. However, they will see TP support, and he's got Alchemist. He's going to TP out. Will he get out in time? 1 second. Not enough. He had half a second left. But John and his freezing field of his ultimate just absolutely demolished that Alchemist.
Yeah, and yeah, this Alchemist is being very aggressive. That's twice he's been unlucky with trying to teleport after pushing the top tier 1 tower, and it's not really doing him too many favors because he needs farm, and he's getting a few. He's pushing the lane, gets us some creep kills, but then he dies, so he pretty much loses it again. So, not quite the position you want to be in as an Alchemist.
And he loses even more gold as he's trying to TP out. That's 135 gold twice. That is a lot of gold. That's 270 gold plus the gold on death. That's about 600 gold overall, and a lot of farming time wasted. And now we will see the top tower taking a little bit of damage from Noxious. They're going to be looking to be very aggressive as turns he's just standing in between the tier 2 and tier 3 tower. But unfortunately, for BSP, they still do not have the feed script up and running on this Bane, and they need that very, very bad. It's one of the most beneficial spells on their team at the moment to try and lock down these heroes, such as that Timbersaw or that Lifestealer. Otherwise, they're just going to wreak havoc in your backline and throughout in the team fights.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this Bane is severely underleveled at the moment. There we go, there's his level 6. He'll have that phase grip. But up until that point, I mean, he was really struggling to get those levels. Sand King is almost level 7, so he's got his epicenter. And I feel like this is the moment where BSP can start making a comeback if they start team fighting and making some big plays.
We see the Alchemist popping his stun, and now Toons is standing in the middle of nowhere. We got Alchemist TPing out, and Timbersaw, he sees the Alchemist TP out, and he's gonna feel it's safe to attack on these heroes. They've got 1 stun up on that Sand King. However, Toons, his invis does run out now. He's gonna show himself, and that's gonna force BSP to back. Weaver, he did get out alive. He seemed to be on very low health, so he got harassed from somewhere. I'm gonna guess from this Lifestealer. So the Lifestealer does chase that Weaver out of farming on that bottom lane.
Yeah, and Gyrocopter actually has just picked up his BKB. That's actually huge when you've got this lineup from BSB, you know, the Park, the Epicenter from Sand King. It's a lot of magic damage. And when you've got the BKB to pretty much make that all useless, it's huge. And the advantage that BSP currently has is they've probably got the stronger team fight, I'd say, at the moment. However, with a BKB and a Gyrocopter, that changes things.
Mm. And so we do see Timbersaw, he's working, he's trying to continue towards picking up his Bloodstone. He's not going to be able to get there. The rocket lands with Karot, but they're not going to chase him down. He's got support from Virtuous waiting on the winds with that Fiend's Grip. If we see a Fiend's Grip, he's going to go for it. Will he be able to get in range? He's in range. Fiend's Grip's been landed on a PPX. We got the stun being channeled, but he does have follow-up support. TP coming in from that Weaver, trying to do whatever them. BKB pop, cooldown thrown down. He's doing a lot of damage with Flat Cannon, and that Rocket Barrage. He will find a kill onto that Bane. Bane's going to fall quite instantly. We got Weaver, nice Dream Coil being thrown down. Got Illusionary up. They will find another kill into that Crystal Maiden. However, Alchemist will fall shortly after. SOS is in a lot of trouble. He's going to get on out of there. Weaver's trying to stay in the backlines. He's trying to find a kill into Toons. We have the lifesteal. He's going towards the Sand King. Sand King's Epicenter's not going to be able to find a kill. He just misses out on PPX and Toons. And that's the end of the initiation. Both sides are going to retreat, heal back up, and farm a little bit more.
That was quite a lot of aggression. I believe Noxious slightly in favor. They managed to pick up 3 kills. I believe the Bane did die there as well. No, the tower didn't fall, so they did defend that. But yeah, BSB, they were a little bit spread out, a little bit split up there. We just saw the Sand King only really coming towards the end there, and all the way at the back, you know, he didn't combo with Puck's ulti or anything like that. So probably didn't do as much damage as he would have liked. But yeah, I mean, both teams playing so aggressively. And this is, I feel like this is like the first time Noxious has had to back off behind the river with their entire team for quite a while.
And it just shows BSP aren't completely out of this. If they had a little bit of better communication, as you said, and coordination, that Dream Core plus Epicenter could have completely demolished Noxious. However, Kentai used it late into the fight. He wasn't able to find the kill onto the Timbersaw or to that Gyrocopter. So the carry, and I almost want to call Timbersaw a carry at the moment, the way he's been so aggressive and finding kills all over the map. The Timbersaw and the Gyrocopter, the two most important heroes on Noxious, did survive. They're going to smoke up, and now they're looking for more.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we saw the Bane pop that Fiend's Group, but then there was no real follow-up. The Alchemist was there, followed with the stun, but just there wasn't enough damage. Gyrocopter popped off his BKB, and yeah, start turning the fight around. And looks like BSB have to be very careful here. Sand King and Alchemist, they're going to be up against 4.
And now we should see the death of Kentai. We've got 2 revelations going down. Nice TP by Kentai. He's going to be able to get on out of there. So, actually, he got cancelled by the Frostbite of Crystal Maiden and Alchemist. Once again, getting picked off in territory he should not be in.
Definitely, and this is such amazing play from Noxious, besides, you know, the double sentry and all that, but I'm sure we can forgive them considering how well they're playing. They're just finding kills left, right and center, you know. They've killed off all the tier 1 towers. They're able to just freely move around the map. They've got all their tier 1 towers still standing, although the top one has been contested quite a lot this game, particularly by Alchemist. Now Weaver, who will back off.
And Noxious, they did a fantastic play there. That smoke completely caught BSP off guard. They didn't expect anyone to rotate through the river and come up from behind. So they find those 2 kills there. And they might even find a tier 2 tower. BSP, they're going to try and look to defend this. You do have the Weaver up on top lane. They have more than enough ability to defend this, especially with that Dream Coil and that Sand King's Burrow Strike with Epicenter. But can they land it is another question. Noxious, they don't wish to fight this. They're going to try and find more pickoffs and continue to accelerate their lead.
Definitely. You know, BSB, they see Noxious just moving out of their jungle. They do have that nice ward just placed there, so you can see any movement through there. However, in top lane, we do see that Toons has just been sort of going toe-to-toe with this Weaver so far, just trying to deny him as much farm as possible and ensure that the Weaver cannot push the lane out too far. That tower stays up and in a good amount of health.
And one of the things that's hurting BSP right now is there's a lack of blink onto... Oh, that's a little bit unfortunate for the Sand King. He throws down an Observer Ward underneath this Revelation, and one of the heroes, they're just going to walk past it very shortly, and they're going to instantly counter with that. But and they're also going to look to go onto Carrot. Carrot's going to try and TP on out here. They do throw that Crystal Nova down. He does get on out of this. That's a very, very nice TP. He survives another potential death. He TP's in middle to farm up a little bit more and help out his team if they do wish to initiate. But that ward down in that central Radiant jungle, that's going to get counter ward quite fast very shortly. And now BSP, they're looking to turn us around. They want to get a tier 1 tower. They've got the team fight, and this is what I believe they need to do. They need to try and take these team fights and try and turn this game around.
Yeah, definitely. And we see Puck just blinking there. Hope to maybe catch something off guard. Unfortunately, no one was around or close enough. And they're going in here. We do have Timbersaw in this coming up from behind.
And we have TP support coming in from the Gyrocopter. Nice Burrow Strike out, but it's a retreating Burrow Strike. It's not aggressive. They do find a kill on the Alchemist underneath the tower. Bane, he's more than dead. He can't get out of here. He tries to do a little bit of damage, but he will fall shortly after. And Puck, she's waiting up on the top. She's going to just continue to try and get on out of there. Might try and get a little few creeps on herself. But now, this could be a tier 2 tower, and they may even look to go towards a tier 3. Up at top lane, however, there's a little bit of damage coming down to that Weaver. Weaver's just going to Sakuchi on out of here. And if we want to have a look at these items, he's only got an Ogre Club. He's got Bracer and Boots. That's not where you want your Weaver to be sitting at this far into the game.
Yeah, definitely. And Alchemist doesn't have much more. He's got the Mithril Hammer on top of that Ogre Club, but still does not have his BKB. And even with that BKB, I feel like it's not going to be enough. The right-click damage now from Noxious is getting quite high, quite heavy. Gyrocopter's getting some decent farm, so he's a lifestealer. And BKB helps, don't get me wrong, BKB on Alchemist is always a good choice, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough this game. Especially this late.
And one of the things that hurt him most though is this, it's unfortunately the Sand King. This is what usually happens typically to a Sand King in a match. Since he's been played on this 4, maybe possibly 5 support role, he gets no farm, he doesn't get any money to buy his Blink Dagger or even get Arcane Boots, and then he just becomes a detriment to your team as he does have a stun, he doesn't have Epicenter, but that Epicenter isn't reliable enough. That stun will help, but then afterwards he'll fall quite fast afterwards, and the stun is on a 11-second cooldown, so it's fairly short, but it's just not enough for your team. And speaking of team, the side of Noxious, they're working on Roshan.
Yeah, this Aegis should allow them to, well, I say it'll probably get them in a tier 2, maybe 2 tier 2 towers, but I feel like they will probably consider just pushing it down the mid lane, trying to get a tier 3 tower, and potentially a Rax depending on how well the engagement is. We do see them start moving through the jungle. Gyrocopter's just looking around, picking up some neutral kills there. And no, actually Noxious just gonna dissipate around the map. Looks like they want to defend top before they do anything with this Aegis.
They just don't want to lose any towers at the moment, and they're doing a very nice job at that. And we might see Tim, so he's going to run into SOS, so the lifelong rivals meet each other, but neither of them want to fight each other. And Alchemist, he's going to TP on out of here. He doesn't want to risk it. His TPs have gotten better over the match. At the start, he's just missed out a few times, but now his every single TP from there on out has just saved him his life.
Definitely. I'm not sure if it's if it might be a little bit too late though, because those early deaths on the Alchemist are very, very painful. I mean, you have Gravel's Grave, which is great. You can start to farm that back, farm whatever you lose back up again, but it might be a little bit late now. He's only sitting at just under 6k net worth, and when the Gyrocopter's almost at 12, and Lifesteal is not too far behind him either. So yeah, it's going to be hard here for the Alchemist to come back.
Typically you see Alchemist sit on about 15k gold at this stage of the game, and he's about 10k about 9 to 10k gold under that target. And we have Lifesteal. He's looking to be aggressive. Gyrocopter's doing a lot of damage to Kuso. Kuso's going to Sakuchi his way on out of there. He's got a BKB up and running, so that will be quite useful in the next fight. But in terms of damage output, as you've been saying this game, it might just not be enough. You go for this defensive item, but you just don't have any damage to follow it up. Sure, you can survive, but if you can survive and can't kill people, what's the point?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they just sort of, like they're playing very defensively here, and the problem is that they don't have any other choice. Actually, we see Alchemist once again going to top lane. Is going to start teleporting. Ooh, the miss from the chain there from Timber. We'll never find it killed, but nonetheless, yeah, Alchemist doesn't have any right click damage. This Weaver still lacking in the right click damage. Picked up a BKB as well, so neither of their carries have actual damage output.
Mm. And we do see Lifesteal. He's
It's
looking
really gonna
towards
hurt
go
him.
to his Alchemist. He's going in middle. They have Visage and backup, but they're not going to be able to find anything right there. And they've got to push the top tower at the same time. One thing I do like about BSP is they're still trying to keep vision on the map. They have a ward in middle. They have a ward in their jungle. So even though they've been completely restricted to their base, they're still trying to get vision around the map and try and watch the rotation of Noxious. Because when Noxious rotates, actually down the bottom lane, we have the Dream Core. We have the Fiend Script being popped out. BKB thrown out by Jacob. Nice epicenter stun. Lands onto 2 because the other 2 are in their magic immune rage. Bane will fall shortly after. Puck's taking a lot of damage. Puck's going to get it out of there. We do see Weaver falling shortly after. He wasn't able to once again throw out that time lapse. And now SOS finds a kill on his long life rival. And now they're turning towards his Alchemist. Alchemist take a lot of damage. Soul Assumption. And a pick goes off to Visage. 4 for 1. And now this is a tier 3. Buyback from the Alchemist to try and help defend this. But will that be enough? And also the buyback from the Weaver.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, I mean Weaver didn't actually pop the BKB there either, and this is a hold that for. Looks like we've got another HH here in top lane.
Cooldown's been thrown down. We
Tim's
have
still
the
taking
rage
a
up.
ton.
He's turning a lot of damage. He's turning around. Bane will fall shortly after, and then we see the Sand King. Timbersaw, however, does fall, and this is what BSP needs. They can almost turn this back around now. There's no Timbersaw to throw out all of that damage and be extremely tanky. Nice acid cocktail being thrown down onto PPX, but PPX is just standing up, manning up, doing a lot of damage. Carrot will just get out of there. And in the meanwhile, Phoenix is just attacking the racks. He doesn't care. Now the rack should fall shortly after. He dodges the illusionary orb. If that had hit, we would have seen a puck jump straight on in and find a kill onto Phoenix. And there goes the racks. So that's a racks tier 3, tier 2, and quite a few kills going in favour of Noxious. And that's still not it. Carrot gets out of position. Phoenix jumps in, finds a kill. They turn towards Kentai. Can Kentai get on out of the Dream Coil will be popped by Phoenix, not doing too much damage or any damage at all. The Nightmare being thrown out to Fina. And now SOS is still in a lot of trouble. He jumps in, he throws out that Waning Rift. It doesn't land. They're going to walk on out. How the Fiend's grip is on PPX. Nice Burrow Strike onto 3. They can get enough damage. There goes the Brain Sap onto the Gyrocopter. So find one. Fina is still manning up and going on in there. Even with the Enfeeble on him, he's still doing 180 to 190 damage. And now they're finally back in after about a 3 to 4 minute prolonged assault.
Yeah, and I mean they didn't even lose the Aegis in that entire engagement actually. So Life still has that Aegis and decides to actually just back off with the Aegis instead of just trying to fight and revive and possibly get a few kills. But yeah, this is Noxious Gaming now heavily in the league. They've got the racks, and BSB are going to have a lot of trouble coming back in this game because they have to constantly defend now. And I mean, they've been essentially playing, you know, they've just been playing to stay alive. You know, we saw the BKBs from both Weaver and Alchemist, no damage items on them, and that's very defensive, and you can't really do that with this sort of lineup that Noxious have. They're going to just kill you outright in right click damage if you do. You know, Gyrocopter and Lifesteal are just insane right click heroes. Gyrocopter with the flak cannon can deal so much very quickly, and Lifestealer, of course, he's not to be laughed at, especially when he's got a desert and an AC.
And now their side of the map is just completely covered with creeps. They can't even walk out of the base. And Noxious, what their wards is just phenomenal. They have a ward in the base, they have a ward up on the cliff. They can see any rotation out from the top and middle lane. And down in bottom lane, they're going into push now. They're going for another rack. They have about 30 seconds. Actually, no, the Aegis has popped, or should have popped by now. So now they're going to push into this bottom lane, and there's not too much BSP can do about it. Once again, they need a perfect Bioshock Epicenter. Epicenter is only level 1, so that's still restricted in pulses. And once again, if he does Bioshock in an Epicenter, there's a BKB up on Gyrocopter, there's a Rage on that Lifesteal. The first time, it didn't do any damage to those two heroes, purely because of that magic evasion of those two heroes. But now, if he can land in a nice timed bar strike with that epicenter, they can still win this. But that's a very slight chance. But they're going to be looking for it. They're not going to give up. And look to see Noxious push into this. And now, I would say the endless chipping starts. We have the epicenter into the bar strike onto 2 heroes. That's a lot of damage. There goes one. There goes Noxious. They've lost 1 hero. They're turning back around. Alchemist can't do any damage. He's going to be chased on out of there. We will see Timbersaw. He's still alive. We see Bane falling now. That's a 1-for-1 trade. Will the Timbersaw gets on out of there? His reactive armor protects him a little bit longer. The bar strike in the backlines lands onto the Crystal Maiden, but that will cost the Sand King his life. And the reactive armor is still keeping that Timbersaw alive. Sakuchi, Gemini, one more auto attack, another auto attack. He's still not being able to find it. There we go. Finally, the last Sakuchi finds that kills. That's a 2-for-2 trade. And most of the core heroes up for Noxious and BSP are still in the waves of the mist. But however, that Sand King's down. No bar strike, no epicenter available. And Noxious, they're just going to push in. They're not going to worry about anything left.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's
And
not much
speaking
that
of which,
BSP
they're
can-
killing
Ooh,
Kuso on the backlines.
Kuso's gonna die.
Kuso will... Yeah, Kuso will fall. Nice ward, once again being placed by the supports of Noxious.
Heaven Salvador and the Crystal Maiden. Yay!
One rich support.
Not that they really need it. It's not like BSP is doing a lot of right click damage at the moment. But yeah, I mean, the BSP have now popped their epicenter. Puck doesn't have, or is about to have his ulti. The Fiend's group's down for another 20 seconds as well. Noxious shouldn't be feeling too worried at the moment about pushing up into their base again.
Especially with that last fight, that went as good as BSP could hope. Sand King with his epicenter and bar strike hit 3 heroes and basically insta-killed that gyrocopter. And then they tried to take the fight from there on out, but there was just too much damage and survivability on Noxious, especially when they tried to attack Toons. Toons, his reactive armor, saved him for so long, keeping the entire side of BSP busy, while the rest of them in the backlines killed him. We have the epicenter channeled. He's going to stun his way out of there. We see the Dream Coil being thrown down onto 2 heroes. They're turning back around, and then Alchemist, he's on the run. He can't do anything. We see the time must being thrown down by Kuso. Kuso's in the middle of a Sentry Ward. He will be picked up. Moops does fall, but then turns around and gets revenge for his fallen hero. Another bar strike landed onto 3 heroes. Kentai doing as best as he can with what he has available, but it's just unfortunately not enough for him. And now there's 4 heroes of Noxious in the center of BSP's base, trying to find their way out. And BSP, we've got a stun being channeled by Aquas. Will he be able to land? It lands onto the Timbersaw, but that's not the target you wanted to land it on. And now we'll see a turnaround. We see a nice familiar stun. We'll see Puck fall shortly after.
Yeah, and if Noxious held off that push for like a few seconds longer, and we do see that GG called,
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
we'll hit that GG button. But if Noxious decides to hold off the push for just a few seconds longer, the epicenter would have been up, and they probably would have defended that well enough. But unfortunately, Noxious just pushing up at the right moment, picking off the key heroes and just taking the game. So well played there by Noxious. They take the, I believe this is a best of 1 series, is that correct?
I think they were talking about that before. I believe it is a best of 3 for the grand finals.
Ah, okay. So the first game does go down to Noxious Gaming then. Game 2 should be coming up very shortly. I unfortunately won't be able to cast that one. Yoshi, I'm sure you'll still be taking control of that.
I should be here if I can grab an invite to the party. Hopefully Moops will be able to send me the password, but should be all good.
Alright, well, that's it for me. Thank you guys very much for watching. As always, if you can, please donate to Child's Play. Child's Play aim to improve the lives of children in hospitals all around the world through the kindness and generosity of the gaming community and the power of play. I've been Xalorith. I have been joined by Yoshi this evening. Thank you very much to him for co-casting with me. Until next time.